Have you ever wondered if your body is only the outermost layer of something much deeper? That behind your name, your memories, and even your thoughts, there's something more timeless guiding it all? Edgar Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet, believed that the human being is not just a physical creature, but a divine triad: body, mind, and soul. Each of these parts plays a distinct role, not just in your day-to-day life, but in your journey across lifetimes. But here's the problem. Most of us live as if the body is all there is. We wake up, eat, work, scroll, sleep, and repeat. We judge others by their appearance, we measure worth by output, and we try to fix deep soul wounds with surface-level solutions. But what if the fatigue you carry isn't just physical? What if the anxiety that creeps in at night isn't just a mental health issue, but a sign that your spirit is misaligned and your soul is starving? Cayce said, "Spirit is the life, mind is the builder, the physical is the result." In just one sentence, he revealed something astonishing. We don't start with the body. We start with spirit, and everything in your outer life is just a reflection of your inner alignment or misalignment. He believed that before you were born, your soul reviewed past lives, your karmic debts, and your spiritual goals, and then chose a body, a family, and a life plan that would best support your soul's evolution. This means your body isn't random. Your mind isn't just neurons. Your life isn't just happening to you. You're living inside a script your soul helped write. Think about that. The body? It's your vehicle. The mind? It's your builder. It constructs your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotional responses. But the soul? The soul is your compass, your contract holder. It remembers what your conscious mind forgets. It knows why you're here. Cayce taught that illness often begins not in the body, but in the misalignment between spirit, soul, and mind. A spiritual desire ignored, a soul truth denied, a life path abandoned. These don't just create emotional pain, they can become physical disease. So when you feel lost, tired, or stuck, don't just treat the symptoms. Look deeper. Ask yourself, is my body cared for? Is my mind clear? But most of all, is my soul aligned with why I came here? Today, we begin a journey, not of fixing, but of remembering. Let's rediscover the difference between body, mind, and soul, and the harmony that can return when all three work as one. Because once you remember who you really are, you'll stop chasing answers outside yourself and start hearing the truth within. Let's begin with the most obvious part, the body. According to Edgar Cayce, your body is not who you are. It's simply what your soul uses during this lifetime. It's your suit for Earth. It allows you to touch, move, express, and experience. But it's temporary, and its state is often a mirror of your inner alignment. Cayce emphasized that the body responds to the mind and the soul's condition. Many of the physical illnesses people experience, he said, are not rooted in the body at all, but in long-standing emotional, spiritual, or karmic imbalance. He even gave readings where he linked back pain to a refusal to forgive or digestion problems to resentment that had been swallowed for years. To Cayce, your body doesn't lie. It holds memory. It reflects truth. Next comes the mind. But Cayce never used mind in the narrow, intellectual sense. He called the mind the builder because it's the part of you that creates the link between the spiritual and the physical. It is through your thoughts that you shape your life. Every belief, every word, every intention plants seeds in the energetic soil of your being. Think negatively, and you build walls. Think lovingly, and you open doors. This is why Cayce warned. The mind is the lens through which the spirit manifests. If your mind is cluttered with fear, distraction, judgment, your spirit may still shine, but it won't reach through. The light is blocked by the lens. And then we have the soul, perhaps the most misunderstood dimension of all. The soul is not your personality. It's not your name, your memories, or your social identity. It is the eternal traveler, moving from life to life, collecting experience, learning love, and seeking alignment with its source. Cayce taught that the soul carries spiritual memory, that longing you sometimes feel, the ache for home, the strange familiarity with people or places you've never met. That's your soul remembering. He often said, the soul is the record of what you do with your spirit. In other words, the soul is shaped by how you live, not just what you believe. Your choices, your compassion, your courage, They all get written into your soul's vibration. And when these three, body, mind, and soul, fall out of harmony, that's when we suffer. You might be doing everything right on the surface, exercising, eating well, working hard. But if your mind is filled with fear or your soul is ignored, you'll still feel lost. Balance doesn't come from perfection. It comes from alignment. From living in a way where your body expresses, your mind builds, and your soul guides. In the next part, we'll explore what happens when these dimensions are disconnected and how to gently bring them back into alignment. But for now, ask yourself, is my body expressing the life I truly want? Is my mind building what I believe in? Is my soul being heard or forgotten? You see, when spirit, mind, and body fall out of alignment, life begins to feel hollow. On the outside, everything might look fine. You have a job. You pay your bills. You smile when people greet you. But something inside feels off, like you're moving through life in slow motion, disconnected, like an actor in someone else's play. Have you ever felt that way? Cayce believed that this internal emptiness isn't a flaw, it's a signal. It means your soul is trying to remind you, this isn't your path. Or worse, you've forgotten why you came. When the spirit is ignored, your energy fades. You might sleep a lot, but never feel rested. You might achieve goals, but feel no joy. Because the fuel that sustains you, divine connection, is cut off. When the mind is overwhelmed, your thoughts become chaotic. You can't focus. You can't feel peace. You overthink everything, and yet nothing feels clear. That's what happens when the builder, the mind, starts constructing without a blueprint from the soul. And when the soul is unheard, you feel empty, even when you have everything. You attract the wrong people. You repeat the same pain cycles. You feel homesick for a place you can't name. This isn't depression. This is disconnection. Cayce often said that healing doesn't begin in the clinic. It begins in remembrance. He advised people to go within, to meditate daily, to ask their higher self for guidance, and to treat the body as a sacred temple, not a machine. Because only when we bring the body, the mind, and the soul into harmony can healing truly begin. And this isn't just poetic. It's practical. Cayce gave hundreds of medical readings where he explained that true healing required more than medicine. He encouraged practices like gentle stretching to restore body energy flow, prayer or silence to align with spirit, and reflection to understand emotional patterns stored in the soul. He even said, there are in truth no incurable conditions, only incurable people. Think about that. When you are fully aligned, your spirit gives you energy, your mind builds with clarity, your body flows with purpose, and your soul speaks through all of it. So let me ask you, have you been feeling tired, but can't explain why? Do you constantly seek peace, but only find distractions? Do you feel like you're living, but not alive? Maybe you don't need to try harder. Maybe you just need to remember. Remember the soul contract you signed before you came. Remember the purpose you've been trying to outrun. Remember that healing doesn't start with doing. It starts with realignment. And in the next part, we'll explore exactly how to do that. So how do we realign? How do we bring the spirit, mind, and body back into one coherent flow, so life doesn't feel like a struggle, but like a guided unfolding? According to Edgar Cayce, alignment begins with intention. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to escape to a monastery or meditate for 5 hours a day. You just need to start remembering, to begin treating every dimension of your being as sacred, because it is. Here's how Cayce described the healing path. First, the body. He said, treat it as a temple. Move it with kindness. Eat with mindfulness. Rest with honor. He warned that overindulgence or neglect both disconnect you from your soul's purpose. Then, the mind. The builder. He advised using daily affirmations, prayer, and journaling to cleanse negative thought loops. Even 5 minutes a day of focused stillness can recalibrate your mental frequency. And finally, the spirit and soul. Cayce believed that the soul receives nourishment through service, silence, and surrender. Serve someone who cannot repay you. Sit with yourself in quiet, without distraction, and let go of the need to control every outcome, because your soul already remembers where you're going. He often said, the spirit is willing, the soul is seeking, and the mind is shaping. But the body must also be listening. Alignment isn't about doing more. It's about living with more reverence. You begin to ask deeper questions. Is what I eat nourishing my energy or numbing my emotions? Are my thoughts feeding my light or dimming it? Is my soul quietly begging for space, and I keep telling it later? Because the truth is, your soul never forgets. It always remembers what you came here to learn, to teach, and to heal. And when you begin living in alignment, you don't just heal the body, you elevate the entire vibration of your life. You begin to attract the people, the places, and the opportunities that reflect your truest frequency, not your trauma. So take a moment now. Place your hand on your chest, close your eyes, and ask, what does my soul need to remember today? Not to impress, not to achieve, but to come home. Because if you're still watching this, something inside you already knows the answer. This was never just a video. It was your invitation to return. If this message stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Subscribe, because this journey is just beginning. And leave a comment. What part of you have you been ignoring? What does your soul want to say if you finally let it speak? Let's walk this remembering together.